Okay, I'm sorry about the mess on the board. I just did this lesson and then understood I had forgotten to press record. Okay, we're going to revise tenses today, and this lesson is for Yaroslav. Yaroslav is one of my students. I'm going to make a lot of lessons now aimed at single students. They have the same problems as everybody has. Yaroslav doesn't like English tenses. I understand why. I don't like them very much either. They are very difficult to remember, all the different ways that we use them. Now, the best way to learn tenses is simply repeat them. So we're going to repeat all of the present and past tenses right now. So Yaroslav, how many hours do you work a week? Present simple, every week, often, usually, sometimes, rarely. How many hours do you work a week? Now speak to the monitor and tell me how many hours you work a week. You have to practice using these tenses. Tell me also, how much overtime do you usually do? Yeah, how many hours overtime do you usually do? How much overtime do you usually do? Okay, now come on to now, or at the moment, so present continuous. What are you doing now? Which books are you reading at the moment? Okay? Speak to me again. Tell me which books you are reading. Tell me what you are doing now. I hope you are listening to me, you are learning English. Tell me, what is your wife doing now? Tell me, what is your mum doing now? Tell me, what are your brothers and sisters doing now? Okay? Have a guess. If you don't know, have a guess. And just use present continuous, please. Okay, number 3. When did you arrive home yesterday? What time? When? Remember, when we say when, we very often use past simple. When did you arrive home yesterday? Okay. What did you eat for dinner yesterday? Was it tasty? Yeah. What did you eat for dinner yesterday? So yesterday at 3:30 on January the 5th, we very often use past simple. However, we don't use past simple for if the moment is unfinished, if the action is unfinished. So very common, what was your wife doing when you got home? What was she in the middle of doing? Maybe she was washing up, maybe she was, perhaps she was cleaning the house, I don't know, maybe she was studying English. What was she doing? And what were you doing at exactly 7 o'clock today? What were you doing? What were you in the middle of doing? Maybe you were sleeping at 7 a.m. Or maybe not. Maybe you had already got up and you were eating breakfast. Okay, tell me, have you had your dinner yet? Present perfect with yet, already, just, for, since, how long, today, this week. Maybe not always, but these words are very present perfect, so please remember them. So, have you had your dinner yet? And tell me, how long have you known your best friend? So, how long is present perfect, and it will be simple with stative verbs like know or have. How long have you had your car? How long have you known your best friend? Okay, speak to me again, please. Practice the speaking. Number 6, how long have you been waiting for a reply from Lukoil? Now, I know this is only for Yaroslav. He knows what I'm talking about. How long have you been waiting? Wait is a dynamic verb. So please, with how long and wait, how long have you been waiting for the bus? How long have you been waiting for a reply from Lukoil? Okay, have you been working hard today? Work is also dynamic, it's active. We're focusing on the duration of the action. Long work all day. So have you been working hard today? And please remember, today is unfinished. It's only 12 o'clock, and so we must use present perfect for unfinished periods. So today is very often present perfect. Okay, number 7, this is more difficult, just one for number 7. Had you already studied English before going to university? Had you already studied? Had and the third form, past perfect, because before a moment in the past, before going to university. Before this past moment, had you already studied English? Okay, so because before, we use past perfect. how long had you studied English before going to university? You could say that. Or how long had you been studying English? Even better. How long had you been studying English before going to university? Maybe you had been studying for 3 years. Maybe you had been studying for 6 years before going to university. And lastly, before coming to the United Arab Emirates, how long had you been living in Kazakhstan? How long had you been living in Almaty? Okay, this is live. It's an active, dynamic verb, so we use it in the continuous because how long, it's focusing on a duration before the past simple moment, before you came to UAE, before coming or before you came, both okay. Before you came to UAE, how long had you been living in Almaty? Okay, now that's all the past and present tenses in under 6 minutes. That's not bad. Now we're going to quickly do will, going to and present continuous very quickly, but believe me, they are much easier. So very quickly then, what are you doing this weekend? Present continuous for future. What are you doing this weekend? We use present continuous when we talk about personal future plans. Personal plans, the kind of plans that you have written on your calendar, on your Google Calendar or in your diary. Personal plans. So what are you doing this weekend? Are you going to visit another city? Are you going to relax at home? What are you doing this weekend? Number 2, what will you have for dinner tonight? This is a spontaneous decision. Maybe. Maybe it's not spontaneous, but it doesn't matter. What will you have for dinner tonight? Maybe you have already decided. If you have already decided, perhaps we'd use going to and say, I'm going to have steak, because you've already decided. But if you haven't decided, so maybe I will have steak. Okay, so this is for spontaneous decisions or offers or promises. And going to is more like a plan. But believe me, no one will notice a mistake if you mix these will and going to up. I don't think people hear any kind of mistake. I don't think it really is a mistake. Future is not as strict as present and past. So for going to, what are you going to do after the class? Yeah, what are you going to do after this lesson, after this online lesson? What are you going to do after this lesson? Okay? Plans. Going to for plans. Okay, so please don't worry so much about future, but please still practice it. But the other tenses are harder, especially 5, 6, 7 and 8, the perfect tenses. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you're not Yaroslav, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was useful for you. If you are Yaroslav, I hope you listened. I hope you practiced. I hope you spoke, because speaking is important. And please subscribe if you'd like to see some more videos. I'll see you all soon.